All episodes of the Terrible Gamers podcast contain subject matter and language that some audiences may find offensive. The opinions expressed during the podcast are conversational in nature and expressed only for comedic purposes. We are not licensed by any game company, we just enjoy playing games. Not all the facts will be correct, but we will attempt to be as accurate as possible. By listening to this podcast, you understand that it is solely for entertainment purposes. Listener discretion is advised.
You know I don't play video games no more. Tiny bit of video game. I guess I still play fucking video games. Yeah!
Hello and welcome to episode number 3 of Terrible Gamers. I am your host, Kevin Smith, and with me always is my cousin-in-law, video game opponent, and good friend, Kyle Ellis. Welcome, Kyle.
Hello there, and welcome back.
So again, to remind everybody, this podcast is for anyone who's ever played a video game in their life. They love video games, hate video games, or just really bad at video games, like we are, right?
Most of the time, yeah.
And after the last episode, I think we live up to our names the way that we played. So again, this is our 3rd episode, and there's now ways to contact us.
Yes, we did.
Like we promised. We did promise, and we're coming through on our promise here. So we have a Gmail account. We're looking for topics that you want to talk about, or
just classic games, like, you know, we can find it, play it, and talk about it.
Yeah.
We've come across a few just in the week since our last episode. Like one big one that I forgot to mention was Contra.
Oh God, Contra!
Like I spent years. That's
I spent
up down, left, right. Like that's Contra, right? That's the cheat code.
The Capcom cheat, or Konami.
That's Contra.
Yeah.
Like that's like the gamer mantra, and we didn't even bring it up.
We did not bring it up at all.
But we're terrible gamers.
Yes.
So there we go. But I spent hours playing Contra.
So many ways to interpret the terrible gamer tag.
We're living up to it.
Yes, we are really bad at our jobs. All right, so our Gmail is, ready for this? I'm going to write this one down. This is very, very hard one to remember.
Yeah.
terriblegamerspod@gmail.com.
I think we'll expand from that. That's just a way to reach out for now. But we will definitely expand, maybe looking into social media and stuff like that.
Right now we're on Podbean. We're going to look to see how we can incorporate it into Spotify, into Apple eventually. I know there is some fees involved with some of those, so that's the only downside. You know, we're startup, so got to catch us where you can catch us.
There's also things like Google has a podcast thing, like just Google Podcast.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's just like basically linked through like RSS feed kind of things.
Probably.
I know it wouldn't be the same as an RSS feed, but same kind of concept where you put it one place and it gets pulled everywhere. Lots to look into with that stuff. We are new. We're just trying to get it all out there, and we're just trying to have fun.
We're looking to have fun, play some video games, and drink some beer.
At that we are successful.
Yes. At
least so far.
The beer game is strong. I'm going with Miller Lite again this week.
I'm sticking with the Coors Light. Keeping it simple.
Yeah. That's a good way to go.
Until we run out of that case. We'll get something new.
I can drink more of that. All right, so let's take a look here. What do we... Oh, Castlevania.
Yeah, Castlevania promo just popped up.
Castlevania, too. So we do have a little background noise. Basically what it is, it's my Retro Pi system. That just plays in the background, just has all kinds of random videos.
Yeah, just playing random games from random systems.
Yes.
Just kind of cycling through it, kind of give us a little, memory jog of random ones that are out there.
Nothing better than the 8-bit and 16-bit music files.
Some of them are solid.
Some of them are really good.
I actually have, this isn't those low bits, but like I have Spotify playlists, and one of them is just called like Music from Things, and it's mostly music soundtracks or movie soundtracks. But I definitely have the GoldenEye pause music.
Yeah.
It's just a minute of the GoldenEye music. It just chimes in there once in a while. Don't ever skip that one, just because it's fun. It's just nice to listen to.
I love the music of Zelda. Like every Zelda game.
Oh yeah, some of them
They have such good
legit
songs.
scores.
Yes.
Like they're legit.
even and now they're starting in the new Zelda games. They're incorporating the old
music.
but obviously with a modern twist,
Totally.
which is really cool.
Right, with like actual instruments, not just
Yeah.
bells and whistles
Yeah.
and doots and dings.
Yep. Yeah. So Contra, that was how do you explain Contra? I mean,
I don't even remember what the point of the game was. It was just shooting stuff.
it's like a platform.
Yeah, it was left to right.
Yeah, it was like a.
But you got like you upgraded. It almost had like the Galaga version where you upgraded your weapon to
Yeah.
single fire to like buckshot, spread fire to flamethrower to all the random stuff you could pick up. But I don't remember what the point was because you were like infiltrating.
It was
like
an alien. It was the alien invasion on Earth, I think. Yeah.
Because you definitely were running into some like high tech buildings, which I guess would have been alien structures.
They don't have the description on here, but I was gonna say we can go read the description real quick. But I'm pretty sure it was an alien invasion on Earth. Contra for NES. We'll just do. Whoops, I put Contra new. Hold on, Contra on the NES. So I think it was just like the Konami code. There it is.
Yeah, that's
One
what
of
it
the
is.
early NES. Here you go. Playing retrospectives, which was cool. I think what really made Contra kind of stand out is like you go from doing side scrolling, and then all of a sudden you're going like straight ahead, where you see everything ahead of you.
Yeah, first person shooter kind of thing.
Yeah. So like I mean definitely wasn't a first person shooter by any means.
No, but
I mean,
that's the evolution of it became.
yeah, absolutely. Came out February 20th, 1987, according to Wikipedia, where we get all of our, correct source from.
100% accurate information.
Absolutely 100% accurate. Contra is set in...
Oh, look, it's on the screen right now.
Oh, look at that. Good timing. So let's talk about it. Contra, set in the distant future, year 2633 AD.
Oh, we're coming up on that.
So, yeah. When the evil Red Falcon organization have set a base on the fictional... It's not Galaga, but it's spelled Galuga. I'm going to say Galaga.
Galuga?
Galuga. That's a big word, so I'm just going to skip over that one. Near New Zealand.
New Zealand,
yep. And
because that's the thing. I remember shooting.
plot to
You're
wipe
in
out
blue.
humanity. So
You're
it
in
is
blue and you're shooting dudes in red. I don't remember aliens.
Yeah, it is aliens. And actually, if you look at the art, the box art, you can actually see it looks like
An alien.
Yeah, it looks like Sylvester Stallone
And Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's what I remember
fighting
for sure.
aliens. So
Yeah, that was
is-
intentional for sure.
100%. You know what? That doesn't even look like Sylvester. That's definitely Arnold Schwarzenegger, though. That's like a fake.
But you
Arnold.
could see it being Stallone because he's got the red,
Yeah.
going across the forehead with the dark
Absolutely.
hair. It's completely Rambo ripoff.
Rambo ripoff, but kind of has like a little. Almost looks a little Asian there.
What else?
Asian descent. Yeah, it was like kind of like a top shooter too. Like it just I don't know, not a top shooter, but you didn't just go side to
Shift,
side.
yeah.
You're shooting up and down, and then that one stage, I think stage 2 or something like that, is where you're
different
going
point of view.
straight at everything, which was really cool.
Well, then another thing I thought of since our last, get together, sit down here was Star Fox. We got to the 64.
Oh God, yeah, Star Fox.
And I never mentioned Star Fox. So the reason I bring that up, we fast forward to college, and you're playing beer pong all the time, right? And I got to, a level where I was very confident after several games. And I just threw this down, like I'm only taking one re-rack, right? And nobody knew what it was going to be. I was like, just wait for it, guys. Just wait for it. So I get 4 cups left, and usually you go diamond.
Yeah.
Let's keep them all tight together. I called for the Star Fox.
Oh,
And everyone's like, what the hell is that? And I'm like, leave me the front cup, the left wing, all the way to the left,
Okay.
all the way to the right, and the middle cup. Because it looks like, from the back, the engine, like it's the cockpit, the nose, and the left and the right wing. So it was as far apart as everything could be. And that was my go-to. Like, I did not do diamond. I did Star Fox. That was my re-rack
I like
for
it.
beer pong.
I like it.
And it's a mega flex. And I even got down to the and people knew I was gonna shoot left wing, right wing, nose, cockpit. That's what I was gonna do to beat you. and it was just a way to be like, I'm better than you, and I know it. Didn't always work.
Yeah,
but that was what I was going for.
Star Fox was a game that originated on the Super Nintendo, and then expanded. And there was actually, so I have the Super Nintendo Classic sitting right there, which is a badass system. Like this is, like I said, as we talked about last time, I didn't grow up with a Super Nintendo. I was a Sega Genesis guy, so I went from the original Nintendo, which I absolutely loved. I had forever. I kept all my games, and then for some reason I couldn't find my original Nintendo. But then, come marry your cousin, and she has an original Nintendo, and now it's in our house, and all my games are here. majority of my games are here.
Right. Yeah.
There's a lot of games that I don't have anymore, and then
I don't know why they had a Nintendo. I feel like they never played it unless we were there.
Maybe that's why.
Come over. But I don't know why they had it at all, and it was so wild to me that they had it. Like, I don't know, but we played.
Hey, it's in my house now, which is great.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I have my collector's edition here.
Hey,
I got
a little bit of everything.
Original Nintendo, Atari 2600. This is not your wooden Atari 2600 though. This is the Atari 2600 Junior.
Okay.
And a lot of people did not know about the Junior.
No, I remember the wood one. That's what I remember.
the wooden grain one.
Yeah, the wood
right?
panel looking thing.
So the Atari 2600 Junior came out in, I believe, 87, which is just a smaller version of the actual wood grain one. Obviously, the Atari 2600 had huge success. It came out in the late 70s. It says here was launched September of 1977 at $200 with 2 joysticks and a combat cartridge. So you actually got a game with it, which was good. Most systems usually come with some sort, except for nowadays they don't do that. So
Go to another page here.
okay,
You said 1977.
1977.
What is inflation?
Okay,
Something that
so
cost
new tab,
$200 in 1977.
200. Hold on, man. $200 in 1977. Worth today.
Because
Holy fuck.
you're dropping 500.
Yes, we do swear in this podcast, people. We might not have swore last time, but
No, we did. We definitely did.
So
Does it say 1,000?
Yeah, $200. An Atari 2600 in 1977. Your family would have paid $200. Now to us, it's like, okay, that's pretty reasonable.
I'd go get
That's
5.
great. Hell yeah, let's go, right?
Sell them on eBay. Yeah.
That is equivalent in purchasing power to about $1,008.88 today, an increase of over $800 in 46 years.
Well, some people
So I mean, let's put them
bought PS5s for $1,000.
right. So okay, so what was how much were TVs in? How much were TVs in 1977? Because I mean, you got to figure when Atari came out, when this all came out, not everybody had a TV in their
That's true.
in their house. I mean, the late 70s. I mean,
Or they just had the one.
or they had one.
Yeah.
So if you had a video game system hooked up to it,
Oh God, Resident Evil just showed up on a little screen thing.
oh, Resident Evil was
Huge
great.
PlayStation game.
That was like a PlayStation Flex if you had that.
Well, yeah, because you weren't allowed to play because it was all blood and vampires.
Yeah, exactly.
And zombies and.
In the early 70s, a good 21-inch console color television.
That's like your laptop screen.
Yes. Yeah.
like-
I think no, sorry,
I know, it's not 21.
It's a 17. It cost $500. Okay, so we're talking. My TV upstairs is
That's a $2,500 with inflation.
Is a $60 or $65
65
inch
yeah.
TV, right? And I think I bought it a couple Black Fridays ago for $500. So,
Right, but with inflation of
this is a
500.
color- yeah, in today's money, it says it would be around $3,300. A good tabletop set.
That's like getting a new 16K or whatever.
Yeah,
Like 8K already
8K,
got.
Yeah, which is stupid.
No, there's
'cause
something past 8K. I feel like that nothing can actually play on.
Well, here's the thing too. Like, your eyes can only process so much. So
Yeah.
like after 4K, there's no point because your eyes can't process it. Your eyes can only process 4K.
Nah.
From my research, my internet research, because that's so very trustable.
Well, that's
But
until the 8K
I'm a-
people make people write new articles.
Yeah, right, exactly. So, but yeah, a tabletop set would be $350 back then, and it's $2,200. Okay, so let's. So if your family, if you wanted an Atari at home, you had to have a $500 21-inch. That's color set. Now you could have went with black and white.
Right. Yeah.
Now the Atari was one of those early systems that actually had the option on top where you could do black and white or color.
Mm-hmm.
And actually my Atari 2600 Junior here, which I still didn't find that price, you have your options on and off where switches. It wasn't, I think the original 2600 was like that little dial that slid up and down.
Mm-hmm.
This is like a button, like a whole button that slides. It's like a
Click
slide.
it in.
Yeah. So it just like
Oh, I get you. I
on
gotcha.
and off, right? Oh, it's actually been, apparently it's not plugged in because I've had it set on for a while. And then TV type. So it asks you what your
What
TV
you're
type.
playing on.
Yeah, color or black and white. So that way it give you the graphic definition. And then there's select and reset. So those are your options on the thing. And then of course your controller is
That's on,
the
yeah.
joysticks with the one button. So the game that I plugged in there was Donkey Kong. It is so bad.
Well, it's just like
I mean,
think
just-
of the money on that. Like in-
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that was I was getting to that was going to be my point. Was okay. So $500 for a TV.
And then 200 for
Well,
the
another
Atari.
200. So if you wanted an Atari at that time, your family nowadays, like I just want people to think about this. your family would have been paying $3,300, like this today money.
Yeah.
Today money, they would have
the
been
TV.
paying $3,300 for the TV plus an additional we'll say $1,000
For the
Atari.
Atari.
You would have been paying $4,300 just to play
Not counting games.
a console. Correct.
Right.
You get one game.
Yep.
That's it. One game. You
This
probably don't
was-
even have no cable because you're just getting a TV. What do you know about cable, right? So you had the little antennas on top.
Crazy.
I mean, that's just so like. I mean, we were born in the '80s, right? And so, when you think about it, it's like how many of your friends didn't have video game consoles?
More than a few. Yeah, because you'd go to the people's house who had them.
Yeah, so like we always had all of us had different systems, which
Yeah.
is nice. Like
Like I was the Super Nintendo until I had the PlayStation.
I had Sega, a couple of my friends had Super Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was a few of us, of course, that had the original Nintendo. But it's
Like-
just like, I mean, like,
because we went my buddy Derek's house to play N64, or we went to Ryan's house to play N64.
Yeah.
If we were at my house, we were playing Super Nintendo, and then when I bumped up to the PlayStation, like me and my buddy Mark had the PlayStation.
Yep.
But like you still weren't doing stuff online, really.
Correct.
Like
Yeah. I think it was the PlayStation 2 had, I mean, they did have online capabilities on other systems, and I know in Japan they did, with like the original PlayStation and
I feel like I didn't do anything online until
N64.
Xbox. That's when I started
the
actually
first
playing
time I ever
online.
did anything online was with my PlayStation, was with my PS2, and that was SOCOM Navy SEALs.
Okay.
And you did something, and then you also had like a hookup where you actually wore something and you talked into the PlayStation, which was really cool.
To your team?
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is really awesome. That's my first. That's my first memory. Now, whether or not we were actually online or not, I don't know. So, so I guess let's talk about what games we want to do today. What is that?
I'm working through it.
Okay.
Well, I think I remember, and I've been itching to do this since we last talked. I wanted to get into. We got to the PlayStation and I saw Twisted Metal.
Okay.
Oh, but I'm looking at the Atari and there's Decathlon.
The Atari 2600. The graphics on this. What
Is
is
this the one that
game?
plays?
Oh, that's. I'm
What's
not
the
gonna-
game that plays friggin' the classic? Dun 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 dun. I think it was an Olympic game.
I don't know, but the graphic. Oh, we're at the 5200 now. Okay. I was looking at these graphics like, you know what? For that game, those graphics are pretty good. That's because this is the Atari 5200
Yeah.
now. So
Yeah. That's what
way big difference for decathlon
Yeah.
on the 2600 to the 5200. All right, I don't know if you know. Go back to the 5200. So the 5200 had a different game cartridge, from what I remember. Now go up to the 76. Is it
7800.
7800. On the 7800, the 7800.
This Ace of Aces looks just like Top Gun that we played last.
That does look
Very much
that's-
so.
That's almost 6. That's almost 8-bit there. That might be like 6.5. I don't know, but the Atari 7800, from what I remember, was backwards compatible.
Oh yeah.
So that was one of your
the
first
cartridges. Yeah, you see how it's bigger.
Yep.
It could.
That was one of the first systems.
You can still plug it in.
That was actually backwards compatible that I know of. And of course you have ColecoVision.
Mm-hmm.
ColecoVision and Intellivision were right around the same time as Atari. So that's something that I do want to do eventually. Is I want to go back and have a day where,
Look at those old
where
ones.
we like literally play these old time games. Like on television, you saw Burger Time there. That was a
Yeah, some of these turbo graphics, like
TurboGrafx 16 came out right around the same time as Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo.
never heard of most of these. The whole systems, never heard of them. I stuck to the.
The one system I wanted to talk about. Have you ever played the Virtual Boy? The Nintendo Virtual Boy. Oh my gosh. That system, that we might have to have a whole episode just on that system alone. So that system was an actual 3D stand. It was on. You put it on the table, and you put your face into it, right? And it's like this little red thing, and all the games are red, but they're in 3D.
Weird.
And so it like gives you a virtual reality feel.
Inside their little.
Yeah. So it looks like you're firing up
Twisted Metal 2. Yes, I've been waiting to play this.
This game is pretty.
I
freaking
can't
awesome.
I put on the show. I probably watched it like a month ago. It's like 10 episodes. You're playing as, or you're not playing. Sorry, you're watching. What's his name? Anthony Mackie.
Yeah.
Totally makes the show worth watching. It's like just random. He's just John Doe. You don't know what's going on. Are we going to do a 2-player here?
Let's try it. See if it works.
You meet Sweet Tooth in the first couple episodes.
Is Sweet Tooth the bad guy or good guy?
He's just a guy.
pseudo.
Everyone's just people.
Okay, they're just people. Okay.
Right? They mention Calypso.
You might have to hit start.
They in no
A
way
is actually X is B. So X is like what you select everything with. So it goes like this. It goes X, square, circle, triangle. Co-op tournament. This was always the best. This is now you pick your character. We go through Roadkill, Twister, Axel, Mr. Slam, Shadow. Shadow was like a hearse. Hammerhead.
like you see Shadow in the first episode.
Okay.
Well, you see the car. So
Okay.
you're not like sure what's going on. Like, and then you see him. Outlaw is definitely there, but it's not a.
It's the
this is a
original
woman
Outlaw.
driver.
Yeah, it's the original Outlaw. So this is Outlaw 2 because this is Twisted Metal 2. Warthog was an original guy. Mr.
There's so many of these
Grimm.
you never see at all in the show.
So
like,
now,
I never saw anybody.
when I used to play this game when I was younger, I would always be Axel. I would always be. Are you Roadkill? Is the show around Roadkill? Is that who Anthony Mackie is?
No, they end up in a car that becomes Roadkill by the end of but he is not in the car. Well, he doesn't end up in the car. Beatrice, whatever her name is from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh,
She's like the co-star.
yeah.
She ends up in Roadkill at the end of the season.
Gotcha. Okay.
You do meet Twister.
Okay.
At one point, Anthony Mackie finds a Mustang that's white with blue stripes.
So he's Spectre.
but he doesn't get it started.
Gotcha. Okay.
So they like do a little nod, but it might be a little throw off.
Okay.
Because at the end of the season, he ends up in New San Francisco, and Nev Campbell's like the governor or whatever, mayor, and she like basically trapped him into living there so he can drive for her in this tournament that Calypso is going to be putting on.
Okay.
And they show you little snapshots of other people, and you see like a dude who looks like Axel, and you see all these other cars show up on the.
Now Axel was new to Twisted Metal 2. So now the original game. That's what I was trying to look up who the characters are from the original game.
Well, because you can't beat
Because-
Sweet Tooth. he's still a villain. Like he's a boss.
And here, same thing. You can't beat him. But you can. I think you can unlock him later. If I'm not.
From what I remember, yeah.
All right. Who did you end up picking?
I usually played as Road Killer Spectre. And I picked
Okay.
Spectre.
I will be Grasshopper. That's who I used to. One of the ones I used to, because she actually, one of her special powers is to jump over people. So if you have a missile come at you and you have the special, you can actually jump and miss it, and it'll actually hit you. So, it does not say. Oh, Los Angeles. Okay. I totally forget how to play because it's been a while since.
Oh yeah, for sure. I keep trying to use the triggers, but I'm guessing I can't answer.
Yeah, the triggers actually. Yes. Oh crap.
Oh, we're going.
Okay, and okay. So square is to turn, and then what I always did is I always just constantly just shot the. I used the machine gun, constantly shooting the machine gun. Oh, I already used my special. Okay. Oh, I think I did something.
Oh my god,
excellent.
steering is rough.
Yeah, are you using... I don't know if you can use... You can use the joystick. I am using the D-pad, though. I just don't trust that. Okay, there's Twister, and I totally missed. And it's crazy. I got caught in the Twister. Yep, okay, that's about right. And I'm in the Twister again.
I feel like this is one of the first ones with the radar.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to die here, because... yeah, my health is real bad. If I get hit one more time, I'm done. So I gotta find some health here. Homing device. I just got turbo. I don't even know what. Oh, there's. Yep. No, Twister took the health. I'm gonna die. You might be playing this by yourself. How many lives do we get? Do we know? Oh, there it is. There's death number 1. 5 lives apparently, because I see it on your screen.
Trying to kill Hammerhead here. What happened? Did I die? Apparently I died.
Oh, you died too? Did we die? Is it like a collective die?
No, I died separate from you.
Oh, okay. Wait, you're Spectre. I almost shot you. Right, who are you going after here?
Twister.
Oh, okay. So, triangle, or on your controller would be X is the turbo.
I got iced.
Oh yeah. I don't even know how to get out of it. Okay, so dude, there's like, where is everybody? Oh, I guess
there's a radar, dude. Use the radar.
I guess I should use the map. Is a radar on here? Dude, I just remember playing it. This game, dude, I played this game so much. So I did not have a PlayStation growing up. Not till later on.
Why are you driving like this?
Because we suck. Because you're a terrible gamer, Kyle. That's why.
I just tried to napalm this dude, and he like launched me into the air.
Oh, okay. So don't go through the flames, because your car will actually burn.
Oh, somebody's taking some shots, Mr. Grimm.
Okay, I have 3 specials, and that is it. I have no other missiles or anything, so I need to find some more.
Oh, that's not a special.
Alright, so I guess there are some people that might be listening that have never played this game before, so I guess we should kind of explain what we're doing here.
This is basically just battle mode.
In cars. It's basically a destruction derby.
Yes, that's a
destruction derby with missiles. And machine guns.
Oh.
And scary dudes.
No, I died.
It's alright.
At least I thought I died. What's going on? Okay.
Oh, okay. So apparently, yes, it is a collective die where we both.
No, I was definitely killed.
No, I had a ton of life left, and I died too. Oh, you dick. Oh, that was the best thing about Mr. Grimm. He shoots a flaming. What is it? A flaming skull. Yeah, I'm Grasshopper. Yeah, so this is This game is just Destruction Derby. Our Twister's almost dead, so we almost killed one person. Oh crap! Whoops. Could you imagine, like, when this game came out, like, these graphics were
Awesome.
I mean, just especially if you're like the person that went from like the original Nintendo to this, or like let's say you had an Atari and then went to this. Like I couldn't even imagine. Just like I would love to know like what it was like doing like seeing this for the first time again. You know? Oh, that's you. I don't want. And apparently you can hit each other.
Trying to kill Hammerhead. And
Yeah, I know.
I'm close to it.
Oh, did I get him? I think I got him.
Oh, I got him. You did.
So you did all the work like normal.
Shooting at Axel here.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I forgot Axel had that ground pound thing.
Yeah. I have my special. I got stuck on the wall here. I just found some health. All right, where is this?
Dude, this thing turns like nuts.
Oh, it's horrible. I have no control in this car.
Axel is on my ass.
Oh my gosh! I just used a. Wow, this is so bad.
I know there's health.
I did a ricochet bomb, and it backfired. Oh my gosh, this is so bad.
I know if I stay on the freeway here, there's like a mogul.
Oh, I'm gonna die here.
And I know there's a health thing at the top
I know
of it.
I need a health thing right now.
I need that homing missile. There we go.
I don't think my special actually does anything except for like dodge. Is there a? I have like the tiniest little bit of. Oh, I think I just killed Axel. All right, we just have roadkill left. Oh wait, no, there's 2 people left. Never mind. Just kidding. Who's red? Oh, Mr. Grimm. Oh man, Mr. Grimm has a lot of health left. What was the furthest you ever made it in this game?
I beat Sweet Tooth.
Did you? See, I like I said,
I'm a long way off from being able to do
I
that.
didn't have a PlayStation right away. I actually got it from my neighbor. He ended
roadkill
up.
got me.
Yeah, my friend, one of my neighbors. Yeah, see, okay, so it's when one of us dies, we both start over. Because now I didn't get hit, and I have all health again. But yeah, I got my PlayStation from him, and he had Twisted Metal and Twisted Metal 2. So of course those were games that I played all the time. And then once I had my PlayStation 2, because after that I ended up being a PlayStation. Oh, we won. Okay, cool. Moscow Suicide Slide. But yeah, once I got this, once I had the PlayStation 1 from my neighbor, this was I became a PlayStation guy. Like I was just like hooked on PlayStation.
We don't have to keep playing this, but
All right, so let's
move on to. Did it switch to verticals side by side? Was it?
I think so.
That was weird. Went from horizontal screen share to vertical. I mean, the only thing I did, like I think I mentioned last time, was Tomb Raider. That's like one of the first games I, like, role-playing game, front of, like, beginning to end, like, pointy tits and everything, like I played Tomb Raider, and that kind of jumped into the whole new kind of...
Lara Croft.
Lara Croft.
Yeah,
But that was another game I sat and played with my brother. Like, we made it through the... God, there's like the halls of St. Francis, or St. Francis Folly was like a level where you, like, if you land on the Midas thing, you get turned to gold. Like,
that's
it's
cool.
just a random stuff like that. Like,
So we were always big in like a lot of sports games.
yeah.
Like our friends and I, like just we played a lot of sports games.
Or wrestling, yeah.
Or wrestling games.
Those are the things you compete against each other.
Wrestling games were just that was our jam. I just saw on here it was Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 on the PlayStation.
Which I have on my Switch.
I actually have it on the PS4 because I do have a PS4. But I had TPHS, Tony Hawk, THPS, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 on the 64.
Okay.
That I spent countless hours on that game. The other one that just came up too for PlayStation was Resident Evil. That was another one. That was something that I was not always allowed to play.
Well, that's something. This is a game I never beat. I feel like I got close. Well, because I remember you'd find the red herb, and you'd mix it with the blue herb, and that gave you a certain amount of health. But if you mix the red and the green, or the green and the yellow, it was all like I never understood half of that stuff.
Yeah.
The fucking zombies, whatever, they always got me. But it was a game worth playing. I think I may have beaten 2 when you were in Raccoon City with a buddy of mine. But it was like a cooperative, like not like true cooperative, but it's like we're gonna stay up all night and we're gonna get this, yeah.
How about this system that's on the screen right now? The Sega SG 1000.
Never heard of it.
So I
like there's Cobra Kai on the screen right there.
Yeah, right. I know that's what it looked like. It's probably like Karate Champ or something like that. So
Super Karate Champ.
Basically what it looks like.
It's a computer video game.
It looks like
the Atari.
Yeah, it looks like a dollar store Atari.
Yeah, it's Five Below. It's Five Below Atari.
Yeah, Five Below Atari. And it looks like it probably has the graphic of the 7800.
That's what it looks like.
Maybe the 52.
Yeah, maybe even a little lower. Yeah, you're right.
It's definitely above the 2600. I don't know when this actually came out. I mean, because some of the graphics on here, some of these games look pretty good. That was like a knockoff Donkey Kong. It looked like that was just on
I saw that.
But this game.
This isn't even giving you the names like the other ones do.
This game has a lot of detail to it, so that's why I think it might be more like this. It's kind of like in between the 5200 and the 7800. But the same controller has a joystick,
a button,
and one button, but the button's on the side, so it's like you hold it like a controller. So there's the Cobra Kai game again. But then there was the Sega Mega Drive. Are you familiar with the Mega Drive?
No.
The Mega Drive is just the Genesis. That's all it is. Sega Genesis. They call it the Mega Drive. Another system. So you can see by the picture.
It looked familiar, but that's because it's that.
Also,
just a different sticker on it.
This is a fun fact, and this is for something for you if you ever play on the Atari 2600. The Atari 2600 and the Sega Genesis have the same controller connector.
Oh, like the plug?
Yep. And if you want to play, if you don't like using the Atari joystick, you can plug a Sega Genesis controller into the Atari 2600 and use that. I've done it, and it is like kind of like a game changer with some of those games.
I'm sure.
I mean, because
Echo the Dolphin just showed up.
Yeah.
You know what? I had, what was the handheld Sega?
Glad you asked, my friend. Sega Game Gear.
Game Gear, yes.
Yes, and I'm pretty sure we have a picture of it on here. Maybe
because I had Echo, and I had Surf Ninjas.
Surf Ninja? I see.
It was a video game based on a movie where he plays a video game. Like the villain was Leslie Nielsen. It was such a random crap movie.
A Game Gear. So real think
that looks fatter than I'm thinking.
Dude, no, but that's how this is a distorted picture.
Yeah, it's got. I remember being longer. Not like quite a PSP, but
no. You know what it's comparable to? System I have right down here.
The Wii U.
The Wii U. The Wii U screen is a little bit bigger than what the Game Gear was. Obviously, the screen on the Wii U is a lot bigger than the Game Gear, but the Game Gear, I had the Game Gear too. Man, that was awesome. I think it took 8 AA batteries.
Yeah,
it was something like super ridiculous. The games were Sega Genesis quality
Mm-hmm.
with the graphics, but it had the Nintendo Game Boy speed.
Mm. Yeah.
The games are very slow, very laggy. It is kind like I had some sort of Sonic game on there, and it was like I felt like impossible to play. But it was a really fun system, and the batteries lasted about 10 minutes.
Pretty much, yeah.
The other system, so you can just see the slowness of that. This is the other system that I wanted to talk a little bit about was... Oh, wait. I'm using the wrong controller.
You mean the Virtual Boy.
I mentioned this earlier. Virtual Boy. So the Nintendo Virtual Boy was... It looks like an AT-AT.
No, yeah, it does.
I mean, that's basically what it is. Right? That's the two-legged one?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it looks like an AT-AT with a controller.
No, an AT-AT is the big for the walkers.
So, yeah.
An ATST?
ATST, I think.
We're talking Return of the Jedi in the forest.
Yeah.
Yeah, those walkers, the two-legged walkers.
ATSTs. It's exact. I mean, it looks like an ATST. It's exactly what it is. So.
Do you even wear this thing, or you put your head into it?
So you don't wear it. You put your head into it. Yeah.
Okay.
So
you set it on the table.
It sits on the table. You have the controller, and you can see there's 2 D-pads.
Yeah, I see
which
it.
was like really weird because you have the left one and the right one, which now you have the 2 joysticks, which I guess Nintendo was ahead of their time. I guess I don't know, but it still had the A and the B button, and that was it. The graphics were about the same quality of the original Nintendo. They were a bit like 8-bit graphics, but they were all 3D, and they were meant to be like virtual reality. So this was like your first virtual reality set.
And you're
like
wearing this.
Yes. And it just sits there, and like this game here, I forget what it was called, but every game is in red. So I had the Virtual Boy, no idea where it went, and I'm really upset about it because these are worth a lot of money now. But the tennis game that you just showed was cool. I had tennis.
This is weird. You got a Wario looking dude jumping.
That is Wario.
Away from the screen.
Yeah. So that's what that was. It was because it was 3-dimensional. It was you actually used
the depth.
Yep,
Yeah.
Because you had the depth perception. So.
But yeah, that's clearly early on. Your what's a Quest? What's it called?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean that's
yes.
Oculus. Thank you.
Yes. So in the games were just like little Game Boy cartridges that plugged into the bottom of the Virtual Boy. Like I said, you can see from this one here.
Yeah, how it's making you go in and out.
Yeah, it goes in and out, and it like
the mountain high.
When I was playing, I had golf. When I would play this, like I really thought that like, oh my gosh, like you're like I'm there, like you definitely were not there, but
yeah, it laid the
it was so
the
cool.
groundwork for some of that stuff that came later.
Mario Clash was like a newer take on the original Mario Brothers, the arcade Mario Brothers, with just the pipes, and there was like multi-levels with it, right? That was a pretty good game. Mario's Tennis was awesome. I had Nestor's Funky Bowling. That game was really cool. And then I have that one. I think it was Red Alarm. Yes, Red Alarm. I had this game. So this reminded me of the way to explain this to people listening is think the Star Wars arcade game. Star Wars the arcade game.
This looks just like a trench run.
That's all it is. It's basically a big trench run. And it's
a Tron.
Game. Yeah, it's like the whole
Tron trench run.
Yes.
Because you don't even have like full on
correct
walls. It's just lines to simulate. Yeah.
That's how the Star Wars arcade game was though. It was like that.
Set up like that.
Yep,
yeah.
Just like that. Don't know what that game is. Space Invaders.
Classic.
I think I had Space Invaders. Yeah, it was
very different.
Yeah, a real weird version because it's more like on an angle.
Yeah, not just straight on.
I don't think I had this one. Telero Boxer.
That's just Tyson's Punch Out with robots.
Yeah, basically. I feel like I had that one, and I know I had some sort of Tetris game, but I'm pretty sure it was V Tetris because I didn't have the 3D Tetris one. Or did I have Virtual Bowling? Maybe it was Virtual Bowling. I thought I had the Nestor one, but... And then here's the other one that we were
Wario
looking
Land,
at, which
yeah.
is the Wario Land. Wario Land was really cool because like you were saying earlier, how it looked like it was jumping from one area to another, and that's what you do. You because of the depth perception with it, you jump back and forth. So this system was really cool. And of course, you can't go wrong with the Game Boy.
Game Boy Color, yeah.
Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, and then one of the original handheld systems, the Game & Watch.
Never heard of this one either.
Never heard of this one. So the Game & Watch was black and white, basically. Most of them were black and white, but you had some...
These are individual games?
Yes.
Okay.
And they were
Yeah, I've probably seen a few then.
really bad. This one, it's called Banana. I think he's literally just going around trying to catch bananas falling. It's a monkey.
I feel like I probably had a football one.
Tiger Electronic. Remember the Tiger Electronic games that were like
Yes.
based off of movies? This is very similar. You had one background, and then you had a screen. You had things going on in front of it. That's what this is very comparable to. But this was like before
that, okay.
Yeah, Tiger. And then Tiger, of course, came out and they took over everything. So, but they did have like a Donkey Kong.
Well,
They had Donkey Kong Circus, which I guess was like Donkey Kong 2, but they did have Donkey Kong
2 also, yeah.
And Donkey Kong Jr., which was a little more color.
Dungeons and Dragons game.
Let's see what that looks like.
Wow, that's weird.
Wow, that would be absolutely horrible to play.
Oh my god, that looks... I don't even know how to explain that. I don't even know where to start. Look it up, guys, because it's weird.
Yeah, Dungeons and Dragons Game & Watch. It's called Dungeons and Dragons Computer Fantasy Game.
That is wild.
Yeah, let's
People would have sat and played
You know
that.
what? Let's fire it up.
Oh my god.
Let's
I
fire
can't.
it up. We're fired up just for real quick.
And then
Quick minute.
I'm
Quick
signing
minute
off, guys. You'll never hear me on this again.
Oh my god! It's
Oh my god, that
What
is
the
so
hell's-
wild.
okay. So cursor
Level
attack,
1.
and this
They just show you 4 corners.
Okay. So yeah,
Like a
so,
a
wall.
altered view of like an intersection of a hallway. You're
So
picking which way you go.
Oh, so
You
I
fell in a
into a
hole, a pit. But you have a Gatling or a whatchamacallit, grappling hook. So you're able to dig out. It's literally just, I guess that's Dungeons and Dragons. I go this way, I do that.
Yeah, and you get so many moves. I guess I don't know. And I fell in
Another hole.
All right,
which
well, this is worse.
there's
than,
not a lot of options.
This is worse than ET. Yeah. So I guess
There's
just
corners and holes. There's another part of the screen that hasn't lit up yet, which I'm guessing has some other sort of option.
yeah, I guess so.
But I mean,
That is
unless there's a
bad.
treasure chest in one of them, I mean that seems
those
really
are the Game & Watch. It's very
basic.
very basic.
Very basic.
Like you could oh my gosh, Grab Man.
Grab Man.
Not even Pac-Man. Grab Man.
Just Grab Man.
But it is Pac-Man. Don't get it confused.
In a weirdly like rectangular screen instead of a.
How about this system? This handheld
Square.
system. Since we're talking about handhelds.
Never heard
The
of the links.
Atari Lynx.
I see Batman the Animated Series showing up on it. That's
Oh,
Rampage.
the Rampage. Let's just see.
So
I don't know how many games are in here, but we'll just go through a couple here.
Oh, Alien
Alien
versus
versus
Predator.
Predator.
That's wild. That looks doomy.
Yeah, and to be honest, the graphics aren't that bad. Awesome Golf. That looks horrible. All right, Baseball Heroes though on the Atari Lynx.
Oh, strike.
You're getting the
Hit by a pitch, clearing the bases.
you get the
The
pitcher,
pitcher's black and
catcher.
white.
You're basically the catcher, but you're the batter. But you're the catcher view. That's pretty cool though.
Right, it's going straight at you.
Oh man, graphics. That looks
Cranks
like
went
you
into
missed
right
it.
field.
Fair ball. All right, basket brawl. Not even basketball. You got basket brawl.
'cause it was street ball.
Yeah, street ball with the fence. Look at the fence. Wow. Some of these are
Battle
really
wheels,
bad.
early.
Block out looks like top view Tetris.
Yeah. I mean,
Blue Lightning.
Looks like you're a Blue
here's Top
Angel
Gun.
doing Top Gun.
Yep.
Yeah. You're in a blue F-18 looking link.
Bubble Trouble.
Bubble Trouble is
Really Solar Jetman type. You remember Solar Jetman?
No.
That's what I'm getting from this is Solar Jetman. Oh,
Just shooting
California
bubbles.
Games. Here we go. We were talking about this on the last episode with Carol.
I don't remember a BMX version. but I
No,
got it,
this
probably.
is the Lynx version, so it's gonna be really bad.
I mean, wasn't California Games didn't have lots of options of what you could do.
Yeah, it had surfing, BMX,
Surfing, yes.
rollerblading,
Oh, and the hacky
hacky
sack.
sack. Yeah, this is really
I
bad.
definitely
version.
remember that.
Had the half pipe for skateboarding, which was always
And
impossible.
then you had to hit the seagull on the
Yep.
hacky sack.
Oh, get it? Nope.
No,
missed
you
it.
failed. What a piece of shit you are.
Checkered flag, desert strike.
Definitely remember that Dino
Dino
Olympics. Never
Olympics?
heard of that one.
That's really weird. Do you think Atari at this point?
Dirty Larry. I wonder what that's a play on.
Yeah, right. Dick Tracy.
No, Dirty Harry, dumbass.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
Dick, just because he's got a yellow trench coat
he
on.
looks like Dick Tracy. My bad.
Just because they don't have the colors to put an actual brown coat on them is the yellow coat.
Okay, Dracula. This Dracula game. This is
There was a Bram Stoker's Dracula on the.
Seventh Guest. Did you ever play Seventh Guest? on
Yes, that was a computer
That's what this-
game.
that's what this looks like to me.
I remember Seventh Guest very well.
Oh my gosh, Electrocop. This is RoboCop. Fat Bobby. Wait, what's Fat Bobby?
Something.
Fat Bobby with an F, and he's a guitar playing platformer.
Yeah, this is like Wild Stallions. I feel like if you listeners, like, is there needs to be like, I don't know, we need to like put a link to something to see, because most of the stuff I wouldn't even be talking about if I wasn't seeing it and remembering it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're just talking about it, trying to describe it, but man, seeing these little bits of these games, Lemmings, like, if you asked me to think of an old game, I wouldn't have remembered this game existed.
Lemmings.
You know, yeah.
Yeah.
Like so many games that we've looked at have been like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably dedicated like a good day of my life to this game.
Yeah.
Like,
Miss Pac-Man on the Lynx.
looking hot.
It's looking.
There he is.
There it is. That you were talking about this,
Ninja Gaiden, whatever it was.
but you played this. You said on
Definitely
the Super
played
Nintendo,
this.
right?
Yes, that's where I was exposed to it. But I feel like that was the cover. Maybe I did play it on Nintendo.
I don't know. That was a game I never actually played. Paperboy.
Paperboy shows up. Classic.
Paperboy looks
That is-
horrible on the Lynx.
That is classic gaming.
Paperboy.
Paperboy,
Oh,
yes.
God, yeah.
I want to say Carol mentioned that when maybe I don't know
Yeah.
if we were recording at that point, but she
Yeah,
mentioned
no,
that.
she did. I'm pretty sure she talked about Paperboy.
Power Factor.
Rampage, the original Rampage.
Rampage is classic.
Rampage is great.
Music and the movie was funny. Gotta love anything with The Rock in it.
Vampire, Road Riot, 4-wheel drive, Road Blasters. Now that is an arcade game,
Mm-hmm.
like an original, one of those ones that you always saw in some sort
Yeah,
of
this
arcade.
this became Twisted Metal, basically.
Yeah, basically. That's probably where they got the inspiration from. Rygar. Scrapyard Dog. Everyone knows Scrapyard Dog, right?
Never heard of this one.
Me neither.
Okay, good.
Shadow of the Beast, Shanghai.
Oh,
This
like
is
a-
literally just...
Mahjong, it looks like.
Mahjong.
Yeah.
Now, the funny thing
This
is...
is like that game
Okay.
from How I Met Your Mother.
Right.
The made-up game.
Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah, what was that one game?
I couldn't.
I'd have to look it up. So, the funny thing that I love about this is that it's just Mahjong.
But nobody knew what that
look
meant. So they
look at the art. Look at the box art.
Oh yeah, it's a
freaking
raging dragon bouncing
busting through tiles.
through the tiles. Yeah.
Could you and there it is. As soon as you boot up the game.
Ultimate Shanghai Dragon.
As soon as you boot up the game, Shanghai, the dragon's right there. But like you know, you're going through going to the store and be like, oh, Mom, I want to get an Atari Lynx game. Okay, let's go to the store, right? You know, whatever. KB Toys they probably had back then, you know,
yeah,
right?
Toys
You
R Us,
go to
yeah.
KB Toys or Toys R Us, and you're going through and you're like, oh, I want something really cool. And you see like
George's epic
freaking
dragon.
dragon. You're like, yes, let's
it's-
go and
it's
buy it.
freaking- you bought
spend
you
all this
bought
money.
Chinese dominoes.
And then
That's
it's
what you bought.
Mahjong that you could have played on your computer the whole time for free. Super Asteroids and Missile Command together. What's a super? This was a game.
Definitely played Super Off Road.
Okay.
Definitely played
I
this
played
one.
this game on the Game Boy, Super Off Road. So I never actually played it in color. I always
Okay.
played it in black and white. This and the other racing game that I spent a lot of time was RC Pro Am
That's what I'm thinking.
on
That's what
on
this looks
Game
like.
Boy.
Yes.
Yes,
That I
both-
definitely played.
They're both very similar, like looking wise, as far as like how you control them. So, what is this?
So much.
There's so many. Yeah,
It
Cyberball.
just looks like Madden.
Yeah, with robots. Turbo Sub. No idea what that is. Viking
Sounds
Chow.
kinky.
Oh, this one's called Foosball/Soccer.
Foosball, the
Well,
devil.
I'm sorry. World class
It looks like it says fussball.
fussball
Yeah.
/ soccer. I think they were trying to be
That's
like
what Ted Lasso used to learn how to play soccer.
probably Xenophobe. I did hear that
Xenophobe is
before.
alien.
Yeah. Zybots, another like. Oh, I don't even know. how to
And it's
explain
not
this
even
one.
quite Dune. It's less than for
Yeah.
sure. I don't know. Yeah.
Zarlar. APB.
Looks like you drive around as a cop, and we're
Looks
back
like
to
it.
Alien vs Predator.
So that's the Atari Lynx. That's the competitor for the Game Boy and the Game Gear. Now look at this controller.
It's wild.
What the fuck?
Maybe you could play two players at once or something.
I mean, are you sitting on each other's lap playing it? Like, there's only one D-pad, and then the A and B button
Only
are
if you're
at
playing
the
Turbo
way
Sub.
top. Huh?
only if you're playing Turbo Sub.
Yeah, I guess. All right. So you got A and B up the top, and then
A and B at the bottom.
A and B at the bottom. But
Right,
it's
that's what I'm saying. Is it got to be available for two player.
I guess.
But there's only
so.
one D-pad. I don't know.
That's so weird. And it even
Or
has
maybe
a-
it's
it
you
has
could
a
play
flip. It has a flip option one.
right. So you could
Restart,
play
flip.
right-handed D-pad or left-handed D-pad. Because then A and B are in the same spot orientation-wise.
That's actually
That's progressive.
that is progressive. I do like that. So, but all right. Well, what do you think? Call that one a.
Yeah, I
Call
think
this
we
one-
went through a lot.
We
in
went
this
through
one.
a lot today. Yeah, we didn't play as much,
We played less and talked more, but
but
I got
I
my
think-
Twisted Metal fix, and I appreciate
yeah, right.
that
That
one.
Twisted Metal was really good. I think we need to come up with how we're gonna approach this next episode. Where we're gonna start. You know, do we go back in time a little further, or do we start off at maybe like a little bit ahead of the original Nintendo? We go back to the original Nintendo.
I mean, maybe we made it. Farthest we played was PlayStation. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
nothing even past
We
that
started
on
at
these things.
we started at original Nintendo. We played a Super Nintendo, couple Super Nintendo games, and then we went up to the
we might
PlayStation.
have to like plug in that Atari and play some seriously old stuff.
like legit playing on the Atari with the joysticks.
I
I have
think-
plenty of games on there.
I think that's what
You know a game I do have that they say is the worst game ever made?
ET.
I have it, and I do not think it's the worst game ever made.
I couldn't tell you if I ever played it.
Honestly, it's actually not that bad.
Oh, the Michael Jackson game. I remember that one just showed up.
Moonwalker, yes.
Sorry, totally random to the people who aren't looking at the screen like we are.
But I think that's a good idea. Busting out the Atari 2600. I'll get that all hooked up for next time. We'll play. Well, I guess we can go through each system. You know, we'll have to.
We'll see if anybody, listens and chimes in. We'll take that into account. But
We have the capability for a ton of games. Now I'd like to keep it to
Awesome.
games that we have, of course, or that we have.
at least for
played.
now, for sure, we got plenty to get through.
Yeah, we have a ton.
We're definitely trying to keep it classic retro for now.
yes. So I don't.
We'll
I don't
we'll
think
save
I
our
don't want to get up.
Rocket League for
Yeah, we'll
years
save-
from now. Yeah.
So I mean, right now I'm looking at the systems. We have Atari 2600, the junior system, which is still the Atari 2600.
Yeah.
We have the original Nintendo. We have the Super Nintendo Classic, which has 30 games on there. So we do have that capability. And we have the Sega Genesis with a bunch of games.
Yeah, I'm looking at Road Rash.
Road Rash is in there.
Yeah, I haven't played that in
Road
forever.
Rash 3.
Is that only motorcycles?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
This game is so awesome. And then from there we have down here we have the Nintendo Wii U. We have the PlayStation 4. But upstairs, I moved this upstairs. I have this upstairs because it's got to be a showpiece. I got the N64 upstairs
Wow, that's
with a bunch of games on there too. And I'm always looking to.
well. We should get a full game of NFL Blitz in. That's N64, was it not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure.
God,
I think I got the original NFL Blitz upstairs, and I have the 4 controllers. So I have GoldenEye, I have Perfect Dark. I have a few wrestling games. I'm looking to get a couple more. Trying to think.
One thing we might want to look for is Wipeout. God, I love that game.
Wipeout was good. I might actually have that on the PS4 just to get the fix in.
Oh yeah, I think we played it before.
I think so.
It was
So,
a downloadable thing. Yeah.
yeah, it was one of the PlayStation Plus games in
Mhm.
1 month. So that looks like
Yeah,
Tekken.
definitely a lot to look forward to. That's definitely Tekken on there.
Yeah, we have a ton of games that we have that we're just going to be able to get through, and then we have a ton more. So
Right.
it's one of those things, like, you don't know where to start, but you also don't know where, like, you don't want to go too far. You don't want to go too far ahead, too far back. Like,
We don't want to jump around.
where's a good starting point? I think the
early is a good start.
I think the 2600 would be a good start. We can fire that bad boy up. I have the paddles for Pong, so we'll get an intense game of Pong, which is I feel like the worst game ever made, but it was a classic. It's not that bad, people. It is a good game. I get it, and there's a lot of Pong people out there, but for me, it just was not a game that just. If you were playing with someone, Pong is great. If you're not playing with someone,
I
it
can
is
see that.
horrible. It is rough. So, all right, want to call this one a day?
Sounds good, dude.
All right, man. Well,
It was a good one. Definitely a good one.
Absolutely, it was definitely a fun one. All right, for Terrible Gamers, he's Kyle Ellis. I'm Kevin Smith. Thank you for listening, and keep on playing.
Take care, guys.